Welcome back to Travel Destinations Cinematic, the channel where we count down the world's most beautiful destinations in stunning cinematic style. Today we are taking you on a journey through 12 hidden gems in Asia, places that rarely make the popular travel lists but deserve to. Hit play, sit back, and enjoy the show. Today, we are not going to the obvious places. No Bangkok, no Tokyo, no Bali resorts. We want to give you inspiration for somewhere different. Destinations that most travelers have never heard of, but that are every bit as beautiful as the places everyone already knows. From the tiger reserves of Rajasthan to the sacred ghats of Varanasi, from the floating lanterns of a remote Vietnamese island to the glass-floored walkways above the forest canopy of Borneo, these are Asia's hidden gems. Stay with us, because our number one is genuinely unlike anything else on Earth. Let's start our journey at number 12. Ranthambore is one of the greatest wildlife sanctuaries in Asia, a vast national park in the dry deciduous forests of Rajasthan, India, where the Bengal tiger roams among the ruins of a 10th-century fortress and ancient temple complexes. The Ranthambore Fort is one of the most dramatic fortresses in India. Its ancient walls and crumbling temples now inhabited by langur monkeys and peacocks rather than Rajput warriors. But it is the tigers of Ranthambore that make this place truly unforgettable. India's tiger conservation program has made Ranthambore one of the best places on Earth to see Bengal tigers in the wild. And the sight of a tigress emerging from the tall grass at the edge of a lake at dawn, her reflection in the still water, is one of the great wildlife experiences of the world. At number 11, Kanchanaburi is one of the most historically profound and naturally beautiful destinations in Southeast Asia. The bridge on the River Kwai, the infamous railway bridge built by Allied prisoners of war under the brutal Japanese occupation, stands today as one of the most moving war memorials in the world, its iron spans crossing the river in a place of great beauty and great sorrow. The Allied war cemeteries of Kanchanaburi, their rows of white headstones immaculate in the tropical heat, are among the most carefully tended and most deeply affecting in Asia. But beyond the history, Kanchanaburi is a place of extraordinary natural beauty. Its Erawan National Park, with its 7-tiered emerald waterfalls, its elephant sanctuaries, and the vast Srinakaran Reservoir Lake surrounded by forest-covered limestone peaks, creating a landscape of remarkable serenity. Our number 10. Varanasi is unlike any other place on Earth, one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world. The Ghats of Varanasi, the great stepped stone embankments descending to the sacred river, are among the most extraordinary human landscapes on the planet. Their steps crowded at dawn with pilgrims bathing in the Ganges, with sadhus in saffron robes, with flower offerings floating downstream, with the smoke of funeral pyres rising from the burning Ghats in a ritual of cremation that has continued without interruption for millennia. To take a wooden boat on the Ganges at dawn, watching the city wake along its Ghats, the light changing on the river, the bells of the temples audible across the water, is one of the great travel experiences of Asia. Varanasi will overwhelm you, it will move you, and it will stay with you forever. At number 9. Zhangjiajie is one of the most extraordinary natural landscapes on Earth, a UNESCO World Heritage National Park in Hunan Province, China, whose thousands of sandstone pillar mountains rising vertically from the forest floor inspired the floating Hallelujah Mountains of the film Avatar. These are not hills. These are columns of quartzite sandstone rising hundreds of meters straight up from the forest below, some narrow enough to seem physically impossible. their summits forested and wreathed in cloud, connected by glass-floored walkways and suspension bridges that rank among the most vertiginous experiences available to any traveler on Earth. And when the morning cloud fills the valleys between the pillars and only the forested summits are visible above the cloud sea, Zhangjiajie looks less like a place on Earth and more like a landscape from another world entirely. Our number 8. Borneo is one of the last wilderness areas on Earth, the third largest island in the world, shared between Malaysia, Indonesia, and Brunei. Its ancient rainforest, the oldest in the world at 130 million years. The Mulu National Park in Malaysian Borneo, a UNESCO World Heritage Site of extraordinary biodiversity and geological wonder. The Sarawak Chamber could contain 40 Boeing 747s. The nightly exodus of 3 million wrinkle-lipped bats from Deer Cave, streaming out in a continuous dark ribbon against the sunset sky for over an hour, is one of the great wildlife spectacles on the planet. And above ground, the ancient Dipterocarp rainforest canopy walkways of the Danam Valley and the proboscis monkeys and pygmy elephants of the Kinabatangan River create wildlife experiences of a richness and an intimacy that are simply unavailable anywhere else on Earth. Our number 7 in the journey. Ayutthaya is one of the great lost cities of Asia, the former capital of the Kingdom of Siam, once one of the largest and wealthiest cities in the world with 1 million inhabitants at its peak, now a UNESCO World Heritage Archaeological Park of extraordinary beauty on an island in the Chao Phraya River north of Bangkok. Founded in 1350 and destroyed by the Burmese in 1767, Ayutthaya's ruins, its headless Buddha statues and crumbling prangs, and ancient temple complexes half reclaimed by the jungle, have a quality of melancholy beauty that is deeply moving. The famous Buddha head entwined in the roots of a Bodhi tree at Wat Mahathat, where a fallen stone Buddha was slowly embraced by the roots of a fig tree over centuries, is one of the most best and most haunting images in all of Asia. At number 6, Da Nang is one of the most dramatically situated and most rapidly emerging destinations in Southeast Asia, a Vietnamese coastal city of extraordinary natural beauty in central Vietnam. The Dragon Bridge, Da Nang's extraordinary cable-stayed bridge in the form of a dragon, which breathes real fire and water on weekend evenings, is one of the great pieces of contemporary civic architecture in Asia. But it is the setting of Da Nang that is truly exceptional. The Ba Na Hills rising 1,500 meters above the city, their French colonial hill station, and the extraordinary Golden Bridge, held aloft by 2 giant stone hands above the cloud forest, creating an image so improbable and so beautiful that it has become one of the most shared photographs in Asia. Number 5. Ubud is the spiritual heart of Bali, a town of beauty in the central highlands of the island. Its rice terraces and Hindu temples and traditional arts, and the sacred monkey forest, and the extraordinary creative community that has drawn artists and writers and travelers from around the world for a century, creating a destination of such depth and richness that many who come for a week find themselves still there a month later. The Tagalalang rice terraces, their green-stepped paddies cascading down a dramatic valley in the perfect curved geometry of the Subak irrigation system, a UNESCO World Heritage tradition, are among the most beautiful agricultural landscapes on Earth. And the nightly Kechak fire dance, performed at the Uluwatu Temple on the cliff above the Indian Ocean at sunset, is one of the great theatrical experiences of the world. At number 4. Nara is one of the most enchanting destinations in Japan. Its unique temples and shrines, and the vast Nara Park, with its population of over 1,000 freely roaming sacred deer, creating a destination of such unique and gentle beauty that it is unlike anywhere else in Asia. Todaiji, the Great Eastern Temple, its vast wooden hall, housing the world's largest bronze Buddha, a seated figure of 15 meters, is the largest wooden building on Earth, and to stand before it and look up is one of the great humbling experiences of Japanese travel. The deer of Nara Park, considered sacred messengers of the gods, they bow politely to visitors who offer them shika senbei deer crackers and walk freely among the ancient temple precincts and along the mossy stone lantern pathways, give Nara a quality of magical beauty that no other destination in Asia can replicate. Are you ready for the top 3? We start with Chongqing, a Chinese megacity of 32 million people built on the steep hills and cliffs at the confluence of the Yangtze and Jialing rivers in Sichuan. A city of such staggering vertical scale and such visual complexity that it makes every other city in the world look simple. This is a city where light rail trains pass through the middle of apartment buildings, where elevated highways stack 4 levels high above the river. At night, when the lights of the megacity cascade down the cliffs to the river far below, and the neon reflections ripple across the confluence of the 2 great rivers, Chongqing achieves a visual spectacle of such scale and such intensity that it is genuinely unlike any other city on Earth. Chongqing is a unique and fascinating destination. Our number 2. Kamikochi is the most beautiful valley in Japan, a high alpine wilderness in the northern Japanese Alps of Nagano Prefecture, accessible only by bus through a mountain tunnel and closed entirely to private vehicles. Its pristine glacier-carved valley of crystal rivers and ancient forest and dramatic mountain peaks creating a landscape of such extraordinary purity and tranquility that the Japanese have revered it as sacred ground for centuries. The Azusa River runs the length of the valley beneath the towering peaks of Yakedake and Hotaka. The Kappa Bridge, the iconic wooden suspension bridge over the Azusa River with the full wall of the Hotaka peaks rising behind it, is one of the most beautiful views in Japan. In autumn, Kamikochi achieves a beauty so perfect and so complete that it feels less like a place and more like a painting. And our number 1 hidden gem in Asia, Khao Sok, a national park in southern Thailand built around a rainforest believed to be over 160 million years old, older than the Amazon, and one of the oldest in the world. Its defining feature is the combination of dramatic limestone karst mountains rising straight out of the jungle and the emerald waters of Chiaolan Lake, an artificial lake created in 1982 that now looks entirely natural, hemmed in on every side by sheer limestone cliffs. Traditional raft houses float on the lake itself, tucked beneath these towering walls of rock. There is genuinely nowhere else in Thailand that looks quite like this. Wild elephants, tigers, tapirs, and Asian black bears still move through the dense forest, largely undisturbed by people, making this one of the most biodiverse protected areas in Southeast Asia. At dawn, when mist sits low over the still water and the limestone towers emerge one by one through the fog, Khao Sok looks almost too dramatic and too peaceful to be entirely real. This is our number 1. And that brings an end of our top 12 journey of the hidden gems of Asia. 12 destinations that the world has not yet fully discovered, and that we hope, after today, you will add to your list. Did our number 1 surprise you? Have you been to Khao Sok? Did we inspire you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. A thumbs up really helps the channel grow, and subscribe to Travel Destinations Cinematic so you never miss where we go next. Until next time, safe travels everyone!